All right, everybody. Um, Greetings to you wherever you are. So, the much requested for video of how the spreadsheet for rabbit farming works. So today I get to actually have time to do it. So those of you who have watched the tree version know there have been so many updates, so many updates. So it's just a month now that we launched it, and so far there have been so many suggestions, so many ideas that have come on board, just a few of them. So first of all, I want us to go straight to the point. I don't want this to keep long as the tree one did. So first of all, you enter your breeders. I'm just using my personal records I'm still doing some updates, but so you have up to 100 what do you call it, breeders. So this is the doe list and then the breeding backlist. Okay, so you enter the names here. Then we come to the breeding cycle. So how do you plan your breeding cycle? Okay, so pregnancy tests, I have it for 15 days. You can change it to 10 days if you are an expert. Okay, but I believe 15 days. And if you are now starting, especially when it comes to palpating or weighing, 20 days is good for beginners. 14 to 15 days is okay for learners or people who are a bit experienced. Sorry. Then the time for nesting, you've made it 25 days. Then the time for weaning, I have it here as 7 times 6, which is 42 days. Okay, then the time for maturity, this is either the time, the slaughter weight, or time to classify them as breeders. Okay, these are all important because it helps you with the dates, automatic dates from the mating and breeding records. Okay, so these are some of my males. I name them after my Liverpool team anyway. So the next thing we want to look at is feed cost or cost of feed. Very important. So the feed that you use, okay, you enter the total weight per bag, then price per kilo would automatically calculate for you. Okay, so the price per kilo will calculate for you. Then how much are you using? You enter them. That's if you are mixing your own feed. But if you are doing a complete commercial feed, okay, let's say we can have something like uh, let's say something like okay, let me just clean this. Now you have to keep these figures at 0, yeah, so that you don't have that division thing that I had when. So just have to enter 0, 0, 0. If not, you would have this division that thing that I was having. Over here you enter them as 1. Okay, yes, so instead of 0 you have to enter them as 1. Then let's say I don't want to use anybody's feed. Let's say Damus rabbit feed. Okay, so Damus rabbit feed, maybe you bought it at a price of let's say 120, and then the weight per bag was, let's say 50 what do you call it, 50 kilo. Then of course you are using all, that is if. So automatically the price per kilo for my feed is, sorry, I had to clean this one, sorry, this 10. So automatically the price per kilo for my feed or the Damus rabbit feed is 2.40 pesos. Okay, so it helps you with the planner. And then we also have here, this is an update for those who knows the tree version. This is the update. We have something called feed scale because people kept asking, so how much feed am I supposed to give my 1-month-old? Now I'm just explaining this. Ideally, You can enter your own figures here, but this is my recommendation. 1 month old or less should eat at least 25 grams per rabbit. Okay, and when they are 2 months old, like 50 grams per rabbit. Then when they are 3 months, 75. Sorry. When they are 3 months, it's 75 gram per rabbit. Then at 4 months, you can give them 90 gram per rabbit. Then when they are 5 months, you can give them 100 gram. Then pregnant dose is 120 gram. Nursing dose 120 or 150. I should have 150 here. Okay, so resting breeders also have 100. Now, how does this help you? So you enter the number of rabbits you have that are 1 month. Let's say you have 10 of them. So you know that they are supposed to eat 0.25 kilo, or this will be equivalent to 250 gram. Okay. So maybe you have 2 months old that are, let's say, 50 of them available, which means that they're supposed to eat 2.5 kilo. Then 3 months old, let's say you have 30 of them available. They're also supposed to eat 2.25 kilo. Then let's say you have 15 or 4 months, they're also supposed to eat 1.3 kilo. Then let's say you're 5 months old who are just about to be classified as breeders. Let's say you have 30 of them. Okay, you know that they are supposed to eat 3 kilo. Then pregnant dose that you have available, I mean, just enter your figure. Let's say 30. And nursing dose you have, let's say 12 or 21. Then resting breeders you have, let's say 10. This is just a rough figure, so you know that at this particular time the total feed that they will be taking is 17 kilo. So if you have different feed for these ages, you have to make sure you measure them like this. Okay, I mean, you have to make sure you are giving your animal the maximum feed that they need for good growth. So at the end of the day, you know you are going to be feeding 17 kilo per day if you have all these rabbits. This also helps you to know the number of rabbits you have available, which over here shows 196 rabbits available. Okay, it helps you with all these numbers and stuff. And let's go back to I would say mating and production, right? Let's do it as the next thing. A very quick one. These are my updated records. The trees version didn't have my update because I had my own sheet I was keeping. So I took the pen and then entered all my previous records. Okay, so over here you enter first of all the date mated. Okay, then the back name you select from the list of backs which you entered in the breeding stock list. The list of backs when you came to breeders. Okay, so these are so then you select the bag that you used. Let's see, I don't want to mess up with my record. So Betty English is one of the does in my farm or at my farm. So once you click here, the list of all your does also appears. Okay, now date mated, then automatically have to lock it so that people don't tamper with the formulas. Okay, so automatically it shows you that based on your predicted or plan on when to test it, it's supposed to be tested on the 14th of February. So once it gets to 14th of February, you test it, whether palpating. I personally do palpating or weight check. So when you check what was the results, pregnant or not pregnant, then you enter. So like pregnant, then you know that once you tag these ones as pregnant. Now I've made it in such a way that you can color these things. Okay, so let's say you want to use pregnant rabbit, you want to color them as red, confirmed pregnancies, or let's say you want to make all confirmed pregnancies blue. Okay, so you can, I think that is for your personal. I do the coloring based on month that I've crossed them. Okay, so when it's pregnant, then your next in So all the time you are checking to see whose time is it for me to put the next thing, or whose time is it to check her pregnancy. Okay, so that is it. Then you come here, date candle. Okay, then the date, the actual date that it gave birth, then the number born, then mortality. You can keep recording the mortality as time goes on. Okay, so once you enter, it shows you number left. Now, based on your winning dates record, number of days that you put there, this gives you the winning date, predicted winning date. Okay, so let's say 50. This is a past record, so it's past. Okay, so winning date. Obviously, you know that by now there are 5, so you are winning 5 of them. Then you weigh them and enter the weight here. Now the maturity stage is that 150 days that I entered. So you know that, oh, these guys will be matured for sales in August. So they were born in January, right? Oh, sorry. They were born in March. So you know that 150 days later, they will be ready for the market. This is your personal thing. I entered 150 days. You can make it 100 days or 120 days, depending on the growth of your animals. Okay, so at this stage you are supposed to know the dose and the bags that came out of this particular litter, so you enter them. I happen to have sold them this particular batch. I sold all of them, so I even entered it here. Also, you can see it on my comment section also. So it was just one that was left. Even that one is also gone. It was a bag. So there were 4 does and 1 bag. All of them were sold, and their average weight. Oops, I didn't get to enter here, so forget it. Now, current age, if they were still alive, they would have been 4 months, 6 days now. Okay, they would have been 4 months, 6 days. Now, this just helps you, really helps you with age. You know, some rabbit farmers don't really have, they just guess the dates. So this one, once it's here, you know that they are 4 months, 6 days old, if they were still here. In fact, all these batch were sold. You can see it. All these batch, they were all sold. All right. As winners, somebody came for them to do a lab test. Anyway, that's just by the way. So they would have. In fact, the guy told me he's going to give me an update. So I'll tell him that these are their ages, respectively. Great. So that is the mating side. Okay, you monitor them that particular litter till they mature. Then the comments, you put the comments there. Let's go to the master planner. So like I said, I hope it's not been too long, because I really want to finish this in a very short time. Now, this is, for me, this is one of the most important parts of the whole thing. This is what I love about this spreadsheet, is the master planner. Now you are here. First of all, tells you insert number of breeding does and bags. Okay, so you have, let's say you have 30. The last time I checked, I was having just 20 does. So and I have 1 bag. Because usually when you keep the dose, people come in that they need those, you have to sell it to them. So at the point I had 30. At the point I even had almost 40, but we have to sell them. So that those who have been classified as those that we are about to use them, then people come for them, request for them. Anyway, so far the active those who are active always giving better 20 for mine anyway. Then I cross them in 2 batches. Now you can decide to do with 3 batches, but I do them in 2 batches. Okay, so you enter the batches here, then you enter the breeding bags, number of breeding bags, and the number of those to be crossed every month automatically calculates for you that, hey, listen, there are 10 those that you'll be crossing every month, and your target here, I've made it 5 per liter, is 50 rabbits. At least on the average, you're supposed to expect like 50 rabbits. Now, production duration or rearing period. So at 2 months, this is where you come to highlight the whole thing. after 2 months, which are the sellable age, after 2 months, these 50 rabbits that you produce in one particular month, cost of feed per kilo is what you entered in your cost of feed over here. Okay, good. So the results will reflect here. Then cost of feeding rabbits born or produced for the period. So for 2 months, you are going to spend, based on your cost of feed, you are going to be spending like, let me zoom it. Oops. Oh, sorry for this. Okay, let's say 150 will be okay. Good. So now, I think it's too much. Good. So at 2 months, cost of feeding rabbits born or produced for that particular month is 270 cedis. Then cost feed consumption by breeding stock. This includes all your 20 does and then one bag. It's important you include all, okay, so that you know how much profit you are expecting at the period. Okay, so feed consumption by breeding stock for the period. Let's say they will eat a total of 126 kilo. Based on those things that you planned, you entered, are recommended in the feeding schedule. So cost price per rabbit produced over here, total cost of feeding for the period. So this includes the cost of feeding this produced rabbit and on your breeding stock. It will be 572 if you are feeding them on only feed. Okay, if you are feeding them on only feed. If you are supplementing with greens, this figure is likely to reduce drastically. So then it comes here to calculate for you the cost price per rabbit produced is now 11 cedi 45 pesos. This is cost price for producing these 50 rabbits, or taking care of these 50 rabbits, including the breeding stock available for 2 months, is now 11 cedi 45 pesos. So now how much do you want to sell this? Now here's the thing. As a farmer, you know that cost of feed constitutes about, let's say, cost of feed should constitute about 70%. About 70% of your, what do you call it, of your cost of production, or 60%, depending on the what you want to, the target you set for yourself. So this figure shouldn't be anything less than 30%. Otherwise, you are losing. All right. Okay. So now, and another, this is my personal plan, so that I want to explain to people so that they can understand. Now, if I am to cross these rabbits in 3 batches, you can see the profit margin has reduced. If I am to have more bags, let's say 5 of them, you can see that my profit margin has reduced, because those 4 extra rabbits will now come and be eaten into my cost of feeding. This is why I don't keep a lot of bags here. I mean, through this planner, I got to know this secret. And 2, I got to be crossing them in 2 batches. So I got the secret that massive production increases the cost, the profit margin. So here, winners are sold at 30 cedis. That's even if I decide to sell 25 cedis, I still have 54% profit, direct profit. Okay, medications and other things are not part, because those things are not constant. They are variable cost, which you do that in your income expenditure. Okay, so it goes on for 3 months. The same figures will reflect. Then at 4 months, well, you have the power to decide how much you want to sell at each stage. So let's say at this stage of 4 months, you want to sell them for 70 cedis. Remember, it's because of my breeding plan that I got to know that, listen, crossing rabbits in 2 batches helps a lot. So every other month, the rabbit will give birth. Every 2 months, it's supposed to give birth. Okay, so then you can go through it, massage the figures yourself, especially this side. Okay, good. So that is it. Okay, so I have a short footnote here. Please note, direct profit is calculated based on your supposed direct cost of feed. It is recommended that your feed cost should not be more than 70%. Hence, your direct profit margin should not be less than 30%. It's a great guide for all farmers. I'm telling you, I've never seen this anywhere, and I think it's the Ghanaian way of how we keep our rabbits. That's why I've not even decided to extend this to other farmers. I'm on so many Nigerian pages that I could have advertised it on, but I think it fits our Ghanaian setting. So this is it. Okay. Now let me see if I can open the income expenditure for you to see how that one too works. Income expenditure. I don't want to use. Okay, let me use. I have not entered so many things yet. So this is how the income and expenditure looks like. Okay. So January you come, enter your figures, blah blah blah. Let's say you sold income was you sold 30 rabbits. The unit price was 60 cedis. Then it amounted to 1,800. Then how much did the person pay? 1,800. I made that room so that in case somebody is owing you can see. Now, so let's say at that same month, you have to enter the dates, but I don't have time for that. So at that time, maybe you bought Damus rabbit feed, you bought 5 bags, and I think it was 120, right? Maybe we'll think about that in the future, and you paid 120. All right, so quickly let's go to the summary. The summary shows you that, oh, okay, when did I enter that figure? Let's say in January, because I have some figures here already. So let's say in January, you got to realize that you made a profit of 1,200, and it will reflect here in your annual reports. Okay, I have some figures here. I still need to update this particular one. I just have to update. I have a rough worksheet that I do my records on. Yes, so that is it in short. Thank you all for your attention, and I believe that this is something I just needed to put a value on it. I could have shared this for free, but people don't really value free things, so I just put a little value on it so that you cherish it and then make good use of it. Thank you. You can contact us for your copy, okay, and enjoy your rabbit farming. I believe it will help us a lot. I'm sitting behind this thing analyzing what is going on in the farm, and you can see just 20 doe units. And recently I've weaned there are about 35 rabbits I have to wean from these 20 doe units, and this is the sheet that helped me to plan well. Now I think I'll be making maximum profit from those 20 doe units. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention and have a nice day.